Welcome everybody, Guts here, bringing you coverage of Transformers Universe. Today we're going to be doing a spotlight on Meltdown from the Autobots. We're going to be covering all of his weapons, equipment, and tuning specs, and then jumping into a PvP match to see his abilities in action. So, let's get her done. First off, I want to show off his subsystem here. Where is it? Alright, yeah. Subsystem, the positronic conduit. This repairs for 22.2% of the damage dealt. So yeah, I want to point this out first so you can kind of get a general idea of how this is going to work out with all of his weapons and whatever specific cores that you're using for him. So think of it like the 20% heal from Crit's core, except this healing is going for every single hit, not just critical hits. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and go back to the overview here on his weapons. First up, we got his rocket launcher. Yeah, this is a long-range shield-based damage weapon with 2 charges on it before it has to reload. The S-Tech on this weapon is going to heal you for a huge amount. You need to be 100% sure before firing off this S-Tech, though, that you're going to hit your target. Because the way that it works is that it fires a rocket blast at your target, and it's going to bounce back to you, the blast from it. So when it bounces back to you, you're going to get the heal from it. So as long as you're in range and you don't line of sight the shot that's returning back to you, you don't run around a corner or something, it's going to come back to you and it's going to heal you for a pretty significant amount. Keep in mind, this is also, if they run around a corner too, chances are this might not come back to you. So it can be a real pain in the ass to get the S-Tech on this to work. But, I try to do it semi-close range, maybe medium range, and make sure it's on a target that's kind of stationary, that isn't about to just jump around a corner. Because you don't want to waste a level 2 S-Tech on this and it not hit your target and you don't get the heal back from it. Okay, that's pretty much it for that. The Boraya beam gun. This is a medium range omni-damage channeled weapon. Okay, so this weapon will slow your target on critical hits. So if you're concerned about having consistent CC with him, it might be a good idea to use a immobilization power core on him, but I personally don't even use this anymore, as I think there's a lot of other essential cores for him. And another reason I don't use it is because the S-Tech on this weapon is going to immobilize your target anyways, and there's a resistance to immobilization if someone has been immobilized recently. So I don't really think that the core is necessary for him. Next up, we have the Starstream beam gun. So this is his healing gun. The S-Tech on this is going to put a green aura on the ground, which will heal all allies standing in it. So let me stress this. If you never understood anything about Meltdown, walking out of his healing AoE is going to piss Meltdown the fuck off more than anything in the world. So for the love of God, people, stand in the healing aura. You usually want to hold on to your level 2 S-Tech for this most of the time to keep your allies healed. I can't count on how many times people run right out of it when they're in desperate need of healing, and they'll just run away from you. It's like, oh yeah, Meltdown's not a fucking healer. Let me just run away. I'm a fucking idiot. So for this reason alone, it's why Meltdown cannot compare to the healing of someone like Conduit. You just have to completely have a competent team that knows how hard you work to get that S-Tech up to level 2 to place that healing aura out for them, and sure enough, a smart team is gonna try to hover around in that aura to get the healing. So now that we've covered all of his weapons, I just want to point out that the most efficient way to play Meltdown is to be constantly swapping your weapons. To really maximize potential of this character, you want to be using your 2 rockets, followed by swapping to your DPS gun, and using that, the channel on it till it's overheated, and then switch into your healing beam gun here and start healing your allies. And once that's on cooldown, rinse and repeat the same process from the rockets to the beam gun to the heal beam gun, and you can mix it up to go back and forth. Sometimes I'll go back and forth between just both the beam guns, especially when I'm using the beam protector, but we'll get to that a little bit here. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to his equipment number 4 here. We have the beam polarizer. When you activate this, your DPS beam gun is also going to debuff your target's damage output, and when using your healing beam gun, it's going to increase your target's damage output. So, and yeah, both of these are 5% per stack that you stack up on a target. I'm always using this equipment as much as possible. There's no real wrong time to use it to debuff your enemies, but be careful when using this while healing, because if there's a firebreaker on the enemy team, because this is considered a boost type buff that you're putting on your ally, you could potentially get your ally killed by a chip ripper combo if you're not careful, because this can be putting a boost on them. So just be mindful of that. Number 5 here, we have the repulsor probe. Okay, so this is going to drop down a thumper probe on the ground that periodically knocks all enemies back that get within the radius of it. I only use this when I absolutely need it, because you don't want to be caught off guard from a strong melee attacker when this isn't available to use. Anyone coming into close range of you with their melee weapon out might be a good time to use this. You can avoid certain death from things like Rampart's Axe S-Tech or Mismatch's Blow Fuse. If you're afraid of Firebreaker nearby trying to jump on you, it might not be a bad idea to set this down, because it's going to break his stealth if he tries to get near you. So it can also be useful to put down in the middle of Flatline's AoE, so his allies can't get in there to heal. And of course, this is really a great tool to use inside of Macro's bubble. Cons won't be able to see inside, and they won't be able to get inside of it either with this thing up. It's just going to knock them back. You know, it's also good to use this thing near like edges, ledges, on top of buildings. Anyone trying to jump up there to get to you is just going to knock them down. They're going to have to try to jump back up there to get to you. So yeah, it's pretty useful equipment. And lastly, for his equipment, we have number 6, the beam protector. When you activate this, during its duration, you're going to receive a 75% damage reduction to yourself, just so long as you're channeling a beam gun. So you only want to pop this ability when you absolutely need it, when you're taking a ton of focus fire. So consider avoiding your weapon swapping to rockets when this is up, so you can maximize the use of the damage reduction, and just swap between both your beam weapons, as I was saying earlier. So yeah, this is going to make Meltdown pretty damn tanky with this thing up. Only use it when you're being focused. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over to his vehicle form here. He's got a shitty shield-based damage rocket launcher here on his for his vehicle weapon. And for his vehicle equipment, we have the repair flare. The next rocket hit debuffs the target so that Meltdown and his allies are repaired for 125% of the damage they deal to the target. So I've never noticed any substantial amount of healing coming from this, and it doesn't even seem to count as healing towards your score, because you can't actually see how much your allies are being healed for when they trigger this. Nevertheless, I use this as often as possible by just quickly switching into vehicle form during a fight, hitting a target with this, and then transforming back, just to give a little bit of extra healing towards your allies. Never hurts. That covers all of that. So let's go ahead and move on to his tuning and cores. Okay, for his cores here, we got the 25% damage reduction, because Meltdown really is one of the tankiest characters on the Autobots, so you want to focus on a lot of damage reduction for him. Then we have the 33% heal increase, as you know, your primary function is pretty much playing a supportive role and a healer. So keep in mind that this 33% heal boost is going to trigger off of all your heals. Your beam gun heals, your beam gun AoE, and also all of your heals from your subsystem will be increased as well from the damage you do. So when this does get triggered, you have a 7.5% chance of having this trigger when you take damage. It's going to affect all of your healing. So this will also affect, your AoE heal, as I mentioned. It's going to affect it for anyone standing in it. So if this core goes off and you have allies standing in the AoE field of your healing field, they're going to be getting the increase, 33% increase from healing from it as well. Next up, we have the taking damage fuels S-stat gauge by 2.6. Of course you want this. This is going to bring your S-stat level up much quicker, so you can get your fixed field aura up and your hot heal from your rocket launcher. It's going to help out a lot. And lastly, I picked up this core. Receiving a repair has a 10% chance of increasing damage dealt by 25% for 5 seconds. So this core is going to trigger off all of your self-healing from your healing AoE and from your subsystems heals, which is every single time you deal damage. So this is going to constantly be on you, giving you a 25% damage boost. It's great. It really helps make up for Meltdown's sort of lack of DPS, but I really don't think his DPS is as bad as some people seem to think it is. It's certainly not near as bad as Conduit's, so that's why I think Meltdown really does kind of make up for it, where he can't heal as much as Conduit, but he can sure bring some decent utility to the team, and he can actually do some decent DPS as well. There's been games I've played with him where I'm top DPS on him, which is kind of sad, but he's not too bad, and this thing definitely helps that out a lot, because you're going to be doing 25% more damage all the time, pretty much. That covers it for the cores. So, and for his tuning here, I have 20 points in repairing. You definitely want that. It's going to be your primary focus on him, is healing, and rest are into resistance. And from this point forward, I'm probably going to say that I'm going to put the rest of my points in resist, just because I want him as tanky as possible. And the only other thing maybe I would consider is bot speed, because he is kind of slow. But there's not too many cases where I need Meltdown running quickly to get to anyone. He's got a pretty decent range on his heal and his beam gun, and the rocket launcher's long range, so I don't think it's necessary, but maybe I'll try messing around with it later. I haven't bothered yet trying to put 5 bot speed on him, but it might be something. If you feel he's too slow, then go ahead and put some more points into it. That about covers it for all of his equipment, abilities, and tuning and cores, so why don't we see this motherfucker in action? Let's do it. Alright, we're jumping into a match here. I don't have too bad of a team right now. We got a Meltdown, played as me of course, and a Showdown as Rip Shot, and Motorwreck is playing Swagger, and we got Wolf Zark on Catapult. So I got a couple squishies on my team here. Well, let's see how we do as far as healing. Definitely one thing on Meltdown I really like having my team is tanky characters, because his healing just is never powerful enough to heal squishy teammates. Okay, yeah, Showdown is usually pretty easy to heal. If you're gonna run from me, I'm not gonna help you. There you are. Alright. Yeah, the increased healing that Showdown gets to his spark is pretty damn useful. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Come on. Stand in the aura. Alright. Kept him alive. for now. Get some weapon swap in here. So I was taking a little bit of fire there. So I'm going to put my damage reduction up. So, unless you're taking a shitload of damage, I would try to use the healing aura for small heals. You know, even if you're down to like half shields, I'd still use my aura just so my teammates can benefit rather than using the heal for my rocket launcher. I only use that when I absolutely need to. As you know, as you can see, my team here needs healing, every single one of them. Oh, one thing I did not mention in my overview was for my consumable, I use the Energon Recharger, or whatever the hell it's called, the one that fuels your S-Tag gauge. Now, I like using that more than anything, because there's nothing worse than firing your rocket heal and it doesn't work. You know, you either had a firebreaker on you. Oh shit, you died. You either had you have a firebreaker on you and it's fucking up your healing, or you know, someone jumps around a corner and your rocket heal fails. So with this consumable, you can pop it again to give yourself pretty much another instant, you know, near full heal. That rocket launcher heals for a shitload. So yeah, that's my consumable of choice. Another thing you see me doing there a second ago was I was firing at nothing with my heal gun. Now the reason I was doing that is because I don't need a target for my damage reduction ability, my number 6, for that to go off. So even if you don't have a target to heal, you can still just channel your healing beam gun or your beam gun weapon at nobody, and you're still going to get the 75% damage reduction. You know, catapult, very hard to heal, so is swagger. Okay, and apparently frontline too. So yeah, as you can see, Meltdown really needs just the right kind of team composition for him to be most effective. I think he's really good with a macro on the team, maybe another healer like Sparkscape, and you know, maybe another tanky character, frontline or showdown. I really don't like playing Meltdown with squishy characters on my team. It kind of sucks trying to kill them. So as you see there, we just use rocket, get all of our life back. Our shields were pretty much all the way gone. Try to top off our teammates here. Alright, there's another heal with my rocket. Weapon swap, weapon swap. Well, let's see if I can heal her up here. Do some damage there. Do some damage there. Heal myself. As you can see, since I do a lot of weapon swapping with him, I'm constantly changing targets too. Mostly because I end up losing my target, because you know I gotta switch targets to heal, and then I gotta switch targets to DPS. So it's kind of hard for Meltdown to stay on top of one target. But I don't really care about it. I mean, I'll try to help with, you know, shit like this where the healer's almost dead. But most of the time, I'll just fire at anybody just so I can build my S-Stack up. Alright, so I can switch back to showdown. Okay, that's probably good. Tell me your swagger. Oh, we're doing pretty well though. I haven't died yet. With mismatch, be sure you're not channeling your beam gun on him when he's got his immunity up. Come here, buddy, we'll heal you up. Hope you've got health insurance. No, that's what Meltdown's for. Alright, let's assist my teammates here with some DPS. Roll down the aura. That's it, stand in it. Good boy. Good boy. So yeah, at this rate, I think it's just best for me to really try to follow around Showdown. Use him as a meat shield and keep him alive. So he's going to be the easiest target for me to heal and keep up. DPS are either just going to have to run to me or run for their fucking lives. It's too hard to heal them. Okay, he's immune, switch targets. Back to healing. Fire some rockets, heal myself. Pop number 4 here. Give a rib shot here, some damage boost. Uh-oh, healing, healing. Moto. Get away. And came back to die. That's great. Good job! Moto just said, fuck this. I'm gonna take it like a fucking man. I got fucking balls. Look at that, I was fucking near death. Hit myself with a rocket. Man, they're on me. Sorry, just gonna heal myself to full. Come at me, bro. Oh, we're just gonna continue. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna kill me or Showdown. It is not looking good for them. We're already 18-5. Man, this went by quick. Be like a 10-minute game. Two more kills to go, people. Let's do it. Uh-oh. Looks like Moto lagged out here. See if I can keep him alive. Probably just spilled his drink on his keyboard. Motherfucker! And he's dead. Well, don't go AFK in the middle of the battlefield. What the? Fucking flew at me like a chimpanzee. Fucking give me heals. Fucking Wolf Zarg flying through the trees like a fucking monkey. Let's keep Rib up here. Come on, one more kill, and we can be done. I didn't mean you die, Ripshot. Okay. Oh, I just got that rocket off right before I got stunned, which was really good. Oh, God. Right here, let's kill this guy. It'll be over. I didn't see. Oh, well, that's it. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. People, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like the content, please subscribe and stay tuned for more future coverage from me for Transformers Universe. Good night, everybody. GG.